welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our special feature today, which is titled Eleanor's Bench. You can actually find this TV series streaming right now on Great American Pure Bliss. But first, let me tell y'all what this first episode is about. It is titled Motion to Compel. Eleanor's comfortable reality crashes around her when she realizes her father's health is failing and sees history repeating itself in her old neighborhood. Not friends. Eleanor, Kera Abercrombie. I so enjoy Kera Abercrombie, y'all. Y'all heard me say that on different videos, all right? This actress is amazing, and I just love her. Okay, like seriously, her character, the character she played, she always takes it to another level for me, y'all. She really does. And here she's playing Eleanor, and let's get into this a little bit, okay? Eleanor is a judge, y'all. She is out of urban community. She is from the hood, all right? Like seriously, only child brought up by her parents, a mom and a dad, who I believe are believers. I really do believe, even though the first episode, we don't really get into much of that per se, where it's like, where you know that it's really shining a light on her faith. But it's just certain things that are there, certain elements that are there. And I'm like, okay, yeah, she know God. She know the Lord, all right? She may have to get herself together, but she know the Lord. She knows something. Her mama and her daddy put something in her, right? So Eleanor made it out of the hood, y'all. She is a judge. However, her dad still stays in the old neighborhood. And in this episode, like, first of all, these characters, y'all, I love these characters. Eleanor, I love her. The fact that she's driven, she's passionate, she is purposeful, adds so many aspects to the show. Of course, for us as viewers, y'all know how I love to pull lessons from everything that we watch, and I can see a lot of different things that I can really pull from and gather from Eleanor. And right here, we're just being introduced to her, like the whole, y'all know how episodes go. The first episode, we're really getting introduced. They land the foundation for us, and here we find Eleanor likable. Like seriously, she is not a character that I can see us despising, side-eye, like, what's going on with you? Why you did that dumb thing? Okay, what's going on? We don't really got to do that. Y'all know I have to do that on the Baxters, okay, with Ashley and different things. But here, I don't see myself having to do this with Eleanor, right? She is like seasoned, middle age. Well, what I guess that depends on what y'all consider middle age, okay? Well, we know that she's beyond her 40s, like, yeah, beyond her mid 40s. So she's up there somewhere in that arena, right? So she grown, all right? She know what she doing. She know how to handle herself. And the way she handle herself, very, very classy, y'all. And I do love fearless characters. Like, seriously, I love me some fearless characters. And Eleanor showed us in this episode that she is fearless. It's like, y'all know, if you grew up in a certain area, no matter what area you grew up in, once you move out and you've been gone for a minute, y'all know, like some years, you know, things most likely have changed. The people have changed. The generation has changed. The times have changed. And usually, for the most part, a lot of those things kind of grow more on the negative side, like grow even more negative, unfortunately. And this is how it is in Eleanor's neighborhood. It's like, although things have changed, it's like they have not changed. They change in the times, the generation, that kind of thing, but it's like the same thing kind of repeats itself in certain environments. You know, kids growing up in single parent households, single mamas trying to make it, single mama sometimes being in toxic relationships, and that's what we have here. The character Jewel, her mama grew up with Eleanor. I gather that they were probably really, not only were they really close, but I'm thinking that they probably was best friends. But Jewel's mom died, and so I'm assuming, from what I gather, y'all, that Eleanor made a promise to, I guess, to look out for her best friend daughter. And here's the thing, y'all, when you're making promises like that, I guess you don't be thinking that you really don't be knowing what you're getting yourself into. Like, seriously. But you want to do right by your friend. That's your homegirl, held you down. They go way back, okay? But here's a whole nother generation here. Jewel is another generation. She on something different. And seriously, y'all. Like, social workers have been out to this lady house, I'm assuming numerous times. This is the way that they approached it. The episode starts off that way. You know, her coming out of the house, looking crazy, yelling, "We gonna take my child, you gonna take my child, you gonna take my child," and all this stuff. She is so, y'all, like, over the top. And I understand the seriousness of it. Yes, I get it. You love your son. You want your son to stay in your household. You don't want him to end up in the system. But yet, you keep doing stuff that making it look like they need to step in and take your son. Because this is more than one time. Yes, we seen it for the first time. But it's just stuff that they're saying in their dialogue. Like the social worker here, her name is Pat. And she is cool with Eleanor. Like, oftentimes, from what I gather, Pat has been in Eleanor's courtroom numerous of times, because Eleanor works in, like, she deals with juvenile court and stuff like that. And Pat works for the she's a social worker. So she's used to different kids, different families, different areas, and all that kind of stuff. And she was shocked, y'all, because this is how it started. I know I'm all over the place, but y'all, bear with me, okay? Bear with me, all right? So that's how the episode will start. Like, Eleanor pull up in her old neighborhood and she see all of this stuff going on. She see her best friend, who is no longer here, her daughter and her daughter's son. Like, something is going on with the cops there, all that kind of stuff. She see Pat, and she know when she see Pat, okay, this is a defect situation. And Pat here, and Pat, y'all, seem to me like cold-hearted. And I know she gotta be a certain kind of way, because she's dealing with, she gotta go into these very, very tough situations, and deal with all this trauma, not only from the children end, but the adults end as well. And I know she probably can't really be vulnerable and let her guard down. She has to be as strong as she is with the kind of jobs that she's doing. But at the same time, I still feel like at the end of the day, people are still human. You gotta still have that kind of approach too. But anyways, yeah, so Pat seemed like just real cold. She ain't smiling or nothing like that. She about her business. And when she see Eleanor, she's like shocked, because she know Eleanor is a judge. Like, what are you doing here? And like, what's going on? Like, she never really seen Eleanor in her element outside that courtroom. Eleanor carried herself with such class, the way she speak. You would not think that she is from an area like this. So I get that Pat is shocked, and she's just like, what are you doing here? And Eleanor revealed to her, like, this is her old neighborhood. She was like, you basically, like, from here? And I'm like, what that's supposed to mean? Shoot, everybody who ain't from a certain kind of area don't act a certain kind of way, Pat, all right? You know, so that's why I say she cold-hearted. I feel like she, I don't know, kind of a little uppity in her own little way, but that let her know right then and there. A person who you kind of thought in your circle, who rolled with you, on a whole nother level, on a higher level, Eleanor done made it to be a judge now, okay? This is a lady that, yes. You see them projects over there? She right here. She right around the corner. She right across the street. That's what Eleanor has been brought up in. And Eleanor said in that scene that, you know, basically, Eleanor ain't ashamed from where, she's not ashamed of where she's from. Like, she feel like that is part of who she is, and that's part of what makes up who she is. Like, seriously, she probably wouldn't be as driven, as passionate. She probably wouldn't even got as far as she has gotten if she didn't grow up in this environment, if she didn't know these kind of people. Like, not only do she know these kind of people, but these kind of people, that's her heart. And in her own way, she's giving back to her community, but she's doing it on a whole nother level. Like, she may not be out there handing out food, handing out school supplies, all that kind of stuff, but she's in a courtroom. She's in them places that's where they be trying to drive urban people into, okay? In these kind of environments, that's where they be trying to get everybody at. Try to get them in them courtrooms, to get them, throw them under the jailhouse. So she's right up in there, so she can make a difference. She knows how to, like, she can see people and read, like, really read people. She grew up around these people. She understands this on a whole nother level. Like, she ain't like Pat, just assume stuff, just basically believe what you see on paper. Sometimes what you see on paper ain't the whole story. It's never the whole story. You gotta be able to read people. You gotta be able to discern spirits and different things like that. And I feel like Pat doesn't, don't got that. She's like your typical what you find out there, okay? Probably hold up, well, have you walk around with your nose held high and all that kind of stuff, because you don't understand. And you probably feel like, well, why don't you just move up out of here, okay? Well, why? She one of them kind of people like, well, why don't you just get a better job? Or just all that kind of stuff, and not understanding that not everybody's afforded the same opportunities. Some people, like, seriously, just because of the color of their skin, that people just gonna give you a hard time for that, or feel like, or categorize you as something that you're not, just because you were born a certain way, something you ain't got nothing to do with. That ain't, you can't help how you was, what color you is, and all that. So I just feel like Pat is probably more on that, and she's getting a little bit of a reality check here, because she see somebody in the courtrooms that she been in and out of is basically right from these same neighborhoods. So it lets you know that it is possible that the same little boy that you're trying to take from his mama, the same mama who probably just strung out, been making bad decisions, could really turn her life around and be where Eleanor is, somewhere on that level. Like, she could really make it out of that place. Like people really do make it out of this place. And so I feel like, you know, Pat getting a reality check here, and on top of that, Eleanor is being reminded, like, she can't turn this off. Not that she was running away from her old neighborhood or run away from her past. It was nothing like that from what I gather. She, like I said, she goes back, visit her dad, take care of him, make sure he all right, because she lost her mom like a year ago, and her mom and dad were married. So her dad is like totally in love with him, but we're gonna get into him a little minute. Let me just finish up with Pat, okay? But I'm not gonna roast her. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes people don't understand. And just like I won't want to be judged like that, I'm not gonna judge you, Pat. I'm not gonna do that, okay? I understand that we all don't know everything, and you just found out something new. Your eyes were open right here in this moment. So I'm gonna give you that. Now, if you start showing yourself later, then it's gonna be a problem. But right now, we good. So moving on from Pat and Eleanor, okay, their relationship. So the girl Jewel ends up in Eleanor's courtroom, and she is coming with a vendetta. She seriously seems like she has something against this judge, and don't want to respect where Eleanor is and the place in Eleanor's status and the authority that Eleanor carries here, and has the power right here in this courtroom to throw you away, to separate you from your child, all that kind of stuff. Jewel is going in there all high and mighty, because she is looking at Eleanor like the same black girl around the neighborhood. And she was like basically saying, forgive me y'all, and she was basically saying in this episode, like, you ain't no better, you just think you better than us. I don't know why people gotta think that. That's because you made it out of an environment, you made different decisions than the next person. It don't mean that that person thinks any less of you or feel like they're better than you and all this kind of stuff. Do the work. Stop being jealous of people, okay? Eleanor did what she had to do, and it cost her so much, okay? If you ain't willing to pay the price that Eleanor paid, then you need to get off that. Stop being jealous. Like, seriously, that's how I felt. So I did feel like Jewel was like that. She was a bit spicy here in this episode, which I do understand. She's in a situation where she feels threatened that her son is going to be taken away from her. So she already emotional, not in the best place. And on top of that, I can tell it's a little bit of bad blood there between her and Eleanor that probably is tied to her mama. So I'm sure as the season kind of progress, we'll probably get a little bit more insight about that. So that's what's going on here in Eleanor's courtroom. Eleanor has to make this decision. Should she give this mother a chance again? And she's a little bit biased because she's thinking about her best friend from back in the day and feeling like she failed her, because look at her daughter right here in her courtroom like this, acting a fool, looking a hot mess, and she just feeling like she just failed her, feeling like she failed herself, and in a sense, and also feeling like she's carrying that burden, that weight too, like she failed her mom and her dad. You know, her mom is no longer here, but her dad as well. You know, her dad just love her. She's like daddy's princess. Like, you can tell, to look at his eyes, he love his baby girl. You know, she grown and all of that, he still see her as, I guess every good parent would see their kid, no matter what age they are. You daddy's little girl. But yeah, so that's what's going on in the courtroom. Eleanor has to make some decisions there, which we ain't really gonna get into, but y'all definitely need to watch it, okay? And keep up on this, all right? Keep up. Don't get left behind, right? Okay, so you got that going on. So here's Eleanor have to deal, because sometimes people be having to deal with certain demons that they never dealt with. And I feel like that's the thing that's Eleanor, like I feel like we're getting that from Eleanor in this episode, that she's battling something on the inside of her that she's not willing to talk about right now. I don't feel like she can necessarily put it into words, because you got to understand, well, we got to understand, she is a judge, and although that's her job, that's her profession, and in a sense in this episode it hints at that's also her calling as well. But it's like, even when court is over, the day is over, 9 to 5 is over, she can't take that off. She can't take off being a judge. Like, she's gonna be a judge 24/7, and I can imagine that's probably how it is in real life. People who in certain kind of positions like that it just doesn't end. You know, you just can't clock out for stuff like that, especially when you in an area like this, like Eleanor going back to her old neighborhood. People gonna always see her a certain kind of way, and people gonna try her, people gonna push buttons, and that's what they did in this episode. Because it's like the scripture talk about a prophet is not respected in their own town, and it goes deep like that. Because sometimes when people feel like they watch you grew up, they know you, they hold you to that place, they can't see beyond it. Even though you probably have done all the necessary changes that you needed to do to change yourself, and you're no longer the old person, you're a new person. When you go back to the hood, your old neighborhood, whatever that may be for anybody, there are certain people, if they watch you grew up with you, they always gonna see you as that. And I feel like certain people back in Eleanor's neighborhood, like Jewel, for example, see her like that and feel like they can try her and different things like that. And then this episode, Eleanor, y'all, Jewel came for her. Like, seriously, she took matters. You supposed to leave stuff, legal issues, legal affairs in the courtroom. Y'all handle it there. That's y'all boxing ring. Y'all get down there. But no, you want to bring it outside the courtroom. You want to bring it outside the courtroom. You go visit this judge daddy just because he stayed right there, probably right around the corner from you. You got nerve to pull up on her daddy? This is a judge. You gonna pull up on this lady daddy? And then he ended up being in the hospital. But Pops, I'm gonna call him Pops, y'all. I'm gonna call him Pops. That's Eleanor's dad, right? Jewel pull up on him, talking her mess, saying stuff about his baby girl, you know, Eleanor and all this stuff. And he just like, Pops don't back down, okay? Even though he's going through health issues, he putting up the dudes, y'all. He was like, he's scared of you. Come on. I was like, Paul, stop, okay? Stop that. Sit down. But anyways, yeah, so he ended up in a hospital after that because, like, I guess he had some chest pains or something, you know, after that situation dealing with Jewel. So he ended up in a hospital. Eleanor meets him there along with a guy from her neighborhood too, who be looking out for her dad. His name is Reg. We'll get more into him a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, something probably happened between them or going out between them. Okay, we see. Okay, I see you checking out Eleanor. I don't care what you say, Reg. I don't care. I see you checking her out. All right. But anyway, so they end up, like, Eleanor ended up meeting them in the hospital, and she find out that her dad been diagnosed with something that is detrimental. But Pops ain't worried about that. He feel like he done finished his course. He done ran his race. His wife has died a year prior, and he's so, like, y'all, so caught up in that love that him and his wife shared. Him and Eleanor's mother have shared. Like, he's still, even around the house. That's why he don't want to leave the house. Because Eleanor had offered him coming to stay with her so she can look out for him because of his health issues and his age. And he'll be in a nice little classy neighborhood that had probably looked like was secure and just nice and pleasant. So different than that stuff that you staying in now. But he do not want to leave that house. Like, he feel like that's his home. That's where him and his wife made it a home and raised Eleanor. And he feel closest to his wife there. He literally, like, be acknowledging her, like, just like opening up the window because she had the window open. It's just certain things like that. And they celebrating her 1 year anniversary of being gone in this episode, when they bake a cake and all that kind of stuff for her. And Eleanor can see that his mind is still there. It's in that place. He's still in his right mind, but he still hasn't, like, he's not willing to let that go. And he feels like, even though he's been diagnosed with whatever he's been diagnosed with, he cool. Like, he feel like he's good with God. He lived his life. They raised their daughter. Sure, like, he's ready to be with his wife again. That's just how he feel. And of course, Eleanor just does not want him talking like that. Don't want him thinking like that. Do not want him to give up on anything or on life. And she don't want to hear him talk like that. She almost turned into like a 5-year-old girl, like covering her ears, like, stop, Dad, like, stop. And I get her, because I'm like, it don't matter what age you are, even if you are an adult, if your parents been in your life, that's all you know. The people who have been in your life since you were little. You don't want to lose none of those people. The thought of them not being there, and that's all you ever known. So I get that. It's not a laughing matter in her eyes, okay? And she even told him, you didn't raise me because Pops be making jokes and all kind of stuff. He's just so lighthearted, humorous, well, funny. He don't take life too serious. He's amazing, seriously. Such a good dad, just a good person you feel like you can just chill with, open up with, hang out with. And Eleanor had to tell him, because she's not a laughing person. She don't be running around there laughing and stuff like that. That ain't Eleanor. She about her business, she's serious and stuff. And she told him, Dad, you did not raise me with a sense of humor. You raised me with a sense of purpose. I was like, oh, yes, you said it, okay? And that's how she carried herself, and she do not play. But we're gonna go back to that scene. Yes, when her dad end up in the hospital, they find out all that kind of stuff. So Eleanor, after she done made sure her dad was all right, he good, she was like, all right, she want to take this outside the courtroom. I got something for her. She pull up on Jewel. She go to her old neighborhood, pull up on Jewel, and look at her eye ain't backing down, y'all. She just like, bring it. And Jewel get back with him. She get with her and all of that. And Eleanor just let her know. Like, Eleanor, like, she always packing. And she ain't afraid to use it either. And I was like, oh! Eleanor, honey. Like, she was like, she may have gotten out of these streets. She may have made it out of the streets. But there's still some of that in her. So she don't be playing with none of them. She do not be playing with them people. Y'all better stop playing with her, because don't be playing with Eleanor. Like, we love Eleanor. So anyways, that's pretty much how that went down with that. It's like, wow, that's like dangerous. That's serious though. And that gotta be something, because these people who are in your courtroom, they ain't no cartoon characters. These are real people. They gotta go back to their real lives, and they could literally see you out there grocery shopping and all kind of stuff, and could pull up on you. And it's like, wow, these people really gotta, like, they life is like on the line every day, because they don't know if somebody may be trying to get back with them from the decision that they made in that courtroom, all kind of stuff. And it proves this in this show with Eleanor having to run into Jewel, and Jewel was just in her courtroom. And I was like, wow, child Eleanor, honey, we got to keep you in our prayers, okay? But anyway, so that's how that went. And then, like, let me tell y'all about Reg now, okay? Reg grew up with Eleanor. Like, they went to high school together. And I guess in high school, they were feeling each other, but it didn't go no well. And I'm assuming it didn't go no well because Reg was, he played football, was good at that, doing his thing. And Eleanor was so about her calling, her purpose. Like, she'd always been like so focused. So after high school, she went straight to college, did her thing, and Reg went and did his thing. He ended up getting married, had a kid. Now his kid is grown, like a football coach now in college or something. So he went on and lived his life, and his wife been dead for like 6 years. And so Pop, Eleanor's dad, feels like he happy with how far Eleanor has come, but he still want her to experience what he experienced with his wife, Eleanor's mom. Like, life isn't all about just working and careers and status and all those kind of things. Yeah, he was like, that's nice, but he wants her to have a family. He wants her to experience love, to feel that protection, that security of just having somebody to walk alongside you in your journey. And I get that, but Eleanor is like, I guess she done spent so much of her life just going after the things that she felt like she was called to go after. And even though she's at that place now, she's like, she done got comfortable there. Not that she would never be able to love or know how to love one day if God gave it to her, but she's not looking for it, she's not pushing for it or none of that either. She feels like she got a lot on her plate. She's trying to clean up these streets, help these kids and different parents and different stuff come in her courtroom, be there for her dad, still grieving the loss of her mom. So it's like life is just lifing for her, and she just can't get a minute to just stop and just smell the roses and breathe. And when she does, like, cause she has like a bench outside of her childhood home, her dad, you know, her mom, them home. There's a bench on there, outside there, and she would sit there because I think growing up her mom would sit there. Her mom would be like almost like a counselor for the people in the neighborhood. They would all come there and listen to Eleanor's mom. Her mom would help them in that way. And now Eleanor, she's on a whole nother level, like being a judge, but at the same time, that's what she's doing. She's helping people, and she's fulfilling her purpose and her calling. And all the time she get a chance, and when she sits on that bench, it's like images and stuff come up from her past about her mom and different things. So it's like when she get a chance to just smell the roses, just breathe a little, take a little bit of breath, you know, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You know, when she get that moment, when she get a moment like that, it's like her mind goes somewhere else and she can't even rest. She's dealing with all this stuff inside of her, so she got that going on. And so Reg, even though if Reg and Eleanor's encounter, you can tell that he truly does care about her, and I'm gonna even step out and say love her. I don't know why I do know why, like I said, they went on their separate paths, but I felt like he never stopped loving her. That Eleanor probably have been, I think Eleanor was his first love, or is his first love, even though he ended up marrying and all that, having a life, and now that's, you know, not no more. I feel like Eleanor has always been his first love. He's so proud of her. He was like, he even told her in this episode, like, you done really good for yourself. Like, he's proud of her. Like, she made it out of there. She's making a difference, and he can still see that same little girl there that he loved back then. Like, there's a piece of her still there. Yes, we grew up, you know, but there's still a part of us that is still like that 5-year-old girl inside, that little princess, you know, turn on the radio and dancing in the mirror, looking at yourself in the mirror and all that kind of stuff. You know, we have fun. Like, you know, y'all know how it go. Okay, don't be acting brand new. Don't do it, all right? But anyway, so I feel like Red still sees her like that. And he's too afraid to face those feelings because he done went through a loss with having lost his wife 6 years ago. So I don't feel like he's ready to jump into anything else because he knows what that's like to lose someone. And then on top of that, like stepping out and doing it with Eleanor, that just really, I feel like it frightens him. I feel like it totally scares him to death. And even though her dad, Pops, is like, stop being shy and timid and all this stuff. He be trying to like nitpick, trying to put them together in a sense, but you know they grown and they see what he doing and they like, just chill out, Pops, okay? It ain't all that. It ain't that. But I can still tell like it's there. It's just the way that they look at each other. It's almost like you read their life story in their eyes. And that's how good of actors these two are. Okay, Cameron and Karen Abercrombie, yo. Just in the eyes. They don't even have to touch each other. Don't have to share no kind of affection or anything, but just the gesture, the eyes, just draw us in, and it makes us feel like, ooh, it's something there. What? Ooh, y'all better tell me. Don't be hiding stuff from me. But yeah, that's pretty much how the episode went down, y'all, because I'm about to wrap this up because I see you're already 28 minutes in. But yes, this is the introductions to Eleanor's bench, and it's so good. Like I said, y'all need to watch this on Great American Pure Flits. I'm loving it so far. I'm just like, I want to know more. I really want to know more about their backstory, these characters here, and where we going, all right? I know when you riding in the car, nobody likes to hear somebody say, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Nobody don't want to hear that, okay? Just enjoy the ride, and I am enjoying the ride, but I still be wanting to know. leave y'all for this evening. Let's go ahead and get into our scripture. So hopefully I'll be getting this video soon. Let me get the time. Like, yes, I should. But okay, we come out of Psalms 37, verse 23 through 24. And there it reads, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, but the Lord upholds him with his hand. That's all I have for y'all for this video. Please remember to leave y'all thoughts, your prayers, your overall take in the comment section below, because I do read them and I enjoy hearing from you all. And until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.